So Jane, tell me what we're doing here.
So we're watching a video, Sven, about dice.
Dice. And why are we watching a video about dice?
Well, so the idea is that if you're one teacher or one die, you have an ability to look at a subject from a variety of perspectives, but it's fairly limited. So if I'm an English teacher, I might be looking at a book through, theme or character or, vocabulary or something like that. But if I add a second teacher into the mix, I can look at that same object or that same item from a multiple, number of perspectives. And then if I add a third person or a fourth or a fifth person into the mix, then it becomes really exciting. I can look at it from a whole bunch of integrated perspectives.
And that would bring many different facets to bear on this perspective.
Ta-dum! Yes, it would. It would bring lots and lots of facets.
So, for instance, let's work just on the theme of dice. If you were teaching an English class and the theme of dice came up, what might spring to mind?
Okay, so I'm associating dice right now with the idea of gambling or, taking a risk or taking a chance because you don't know the outcome. So I might look at it from a thematic point of view. How do I then sort of look at a book from the theme of risk-taking or taking chances or characters who take risks or characters who take chances. Of course, there's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and things like that. So, but yeah, I'd be looking at it from that perspective.
And interesting you mentioned Las Vegas because the historian me takes me immediately to Las Vegas, and I think, why Las Vegas? Why would the gambling capital of the nation have developed there? What were the reasons for legalizing, or why did everybody else illegalize gambling but not Las Vegas? Was it mainly as a draw to get people to come to Nevada? What is the history of gambling? When it comes to New Jersey, I grew up in New Jersey and sort of vaguely remember when they legalized gambling in Atlantic City and what a big deal that was. So from a historian's perspective, there's a rich reservoir of material we could get into in looking at dice or gambling from a historical perspective.
And do you know the answers to those questions right now? Or are you just are they just existing for you in the form of questions?
No, they exist mainly as questions. I don't know really. I suspect gambling in Las Vegas had some combination to do with sort of the free spirit of the frontier, and they needed to draw people there. They needed some lure.
So that's what I love about this work, because what it opens up is what you didn't know, right? Because you probably hadn't thought about it until that moment. Now that you are thinking about dice, all of a sudden you're thinking about what you might teach, but you're also realizing that I don't really know about that. So now you're curious about it. So it's opening an avenue up for you that you didn't know you had interest in, but now all of a sudden you do.
Well, let's roll the dice and see how this goes as a session.
I think that's a perfect place to stop.